Okay, so I've recorded myself making this one right here, and in this one I've just chopped it down to the most important stuff over the next 10 minutes or so, and I'll just go over all the tricks and whatever else I was doing here to make this work. So hopefully this is useful. Okay, so I started off with actually increasing the camera's focal length up to 70 millimeters. Usually I do more wide angle shots, but for this one I wanted to do something more zoomed in because I just haven't done it in a while, and you'll see at the end it looks kind of cool. I'm just working on the basic floor or street here. So I'm just taking a plane, extruding a little thing up for the sidewalk, and then just, I used an array, but you can just extend that manually if you want to do it that way. That's not anything important there. I'm adding these little side street cutout things, just, you can't even really see that honestly, but it's in there. Just to help kind of map things out, and on the off chance you do kind of see it when you zoom in on the render, so it's just nice to have that. Here I'm just dropping in a building from my free buildings pack. So this is probably one of my most popular packs. It's just a free download, so I'll link it below if you want to use that, because you can see all the ones there. I find it really helpful for stuff like this, and that's in there. Link below if you want it. I'm just making another building here as well, which is just, I'm not doing anything too crazy here. It's just blocking it out and then adding some trim, and then for this, whatever you call this thing, scaffolding, whatever this even is on the top here, I'm just using an interesting combo of modifiers. It's the array just on a cube, and then triangulate modifier, and then a wireframe modifier after the triangulate, and then that gives you this thing you can see here, just for like brutalist kind of stuff. Here I'm just extruding in some window panels, and then the building pack that I brought in had a concrete and a glass material already in there. The concrete is just some random concrete image from textures.com or something, and then the glass is just basically metallic full, roughness 0, and then drop the alpha down a little bit so it's slightly transparent. And then yeah, you can see I'm working on the street here, just deleting the displacement map and any extra junk that I do not need, and then color ramp on the roughness of that just to make it a little more like shiny, scaling that way up on the UV map just so that it's not super low resolution looking. And then I'm bringing in a noise texture here. Even though the texture is clearly repeating, when you break up the pattern with a noise texture running through the roughness, or in this case the normal map as well, normal map strength, that creates puddles, but it also breaks up the repeating pattern, and just I like the wet ground look overall. Here I'm just making a little glass pane thing, so same as before, just inset a few of those faces, throw glass material on it, which is just a metallic but a little bit transparent with the alpha lowered. And then I'm just manually kind of placing that on the outer edges because I just didn't like how this building really looked. So you can see I'm just doing that there, duplicating that up, putting it on the top ones too. And that just led to some nice reflections in the final render, and it's just nice to have kind of this sloping glass thing hanging over us. I found that kind of cool. And then yeah, I'm doing my usual volume setup with the cube, display the cube as bounds, and then volume scatter with the anisotropy pretty high and the density pretty low-ish on this one. And yeah, that's just going to go in there over the entire scene. Okay, next for the building windows, I just took an image of actual building windows. This is just a free image from a stock photo site, like I think it was from Pexels. I'm running the color into the alpha, so the transparency, and then also the emission color. Then you just increase the emission strength, so it's actually glowing and emitting light. And then that, I just put on a duplicated version. I basically just selected all the windows of the building, duplicated that, shrunk it, and then put that window emissive material on that. And that's the method that I use for every single building in the scene here, is just that. Just duplicate the windows, shrink it, or even just add a cube inside the rough shape of the building. That works too. And then just slap the emission building window material on that, and then it'll shine through the windows since the windows are see-through. So yeah, then I'm just adding just like a little test neon sign thing that I think it's just a white emission for now. So I'm just skipping through a lot of this, but you can see I'm adding a lot more buildings there. So those, I think all those are from just the free buildings pack that I talked about. So, and then I'm just using my emission window technique just on the inside of that. And you can see already, even with nothing too crazy going on, just a few buildings, nice camera angle, wet floor, and then just kind of like a dark environment with a couple of lights. It's already looking pretty cool, I think. So I was pretty confident at this point that it was going to be okay and not be like a So, one of those, another one that I would just give up on. So we're doing all right here. And then you can see I'm using a similar technique from the windows, but just for neon signs. I just found this great image on, I think it was Unsplash. So just, again, free stock photo site. It's just an image of a street in Japan with just a shitload of advertisements in one single image. What's nice about that is you can use one texture without having to swap in a bunch of new images. So just same texture. You duplicate the plane that it's on and then just move the UV editor around so that you can just select a different part of the same image. That way everything's connected. You can adjust the strength all at once, or at least on a lot fewer materials than if you were going to do one image texture at a time per texture. So that's just my favorite way to do neon signs. Just one image with a lot of neon signs already in it, duplicate the plane that it's on, and then just move the UV editor. I'm bringing in some random models from Kitbash, I think. So just some lamps in the distance, some other like whatever that is, grate thing, not grate. What do you call that? Like some fence, street blocker. I don't know, whatever that thing is that's going in there, and that'll come back later. One thing I'll do when I get tired of just filling up a city with actual buildings is just throw in an image plane. You can see a common theme here of just image planes for everything, but it works. An image plane of just a city. So I think this is an image of Hong Kong or something. And then you just throw that way in the back of the scene, and then any empty space that your 3D buildings aren't covering, that can really just nicely fill in, and it kind of makes everything look a lot more natural sometimes too, just because it's a real image. So I love doing that. Another thing you saw me do there was duplicate that same emissive plane, but just disable the camera view. So it leaves the reflections, and you can kind of put it around different parts of the city, but you can't see it directly through the camera. So you're only getting the reflections of it. So another way to just kind of cram in extra detail on the windows and reflections and stuff. I'm getting behind here, but you can see traffic lights just from Kitbash. Not much to say about that. Just dropping in models in the distance to fill up space. This is just a random person model from, it's just like a quick and dirty scan from Ian Hubert's Patreon. So they're good for like far away stuff like this. Bringing in more buildings here, just duplicating the same ones basically as much as I can. Just trying to make the most of the models I have. Just because I was too lazy to bring in more buildings, but it worked here. Duplicating the building I made at the start too, and just I felt like it was better symmetrical. This was interesting here. So I ended up duplicating that same image with the neon signs on it and just put it really close to the camera. You can see here with the high focal length of 70 millimeters, it does kind of have this effect of making it look like you're compressing all this space, and then anything you put like really big next to somebody looks really, really massive. So I that's one thing that's really fun about a higher focal length shot like this, is it just has that effect of sometimes making things look really big in a different way that you can't get with a wide angle shot. For context, usually I'll do something like around 24 millimeters for most of my renders for just a basic wide-ish angle. But again, for this one, we're up to 70, so it has quite a different look on the whole image. I tried this here. This was just an interesting idea that I didn't end up sticking with, but these kind of like digital waterfall things coming down. So it's like just a plain waterfall texture, emissive, and then just a wave texture and some other like grid stuff mixed in with it. I might revisit that idea because it was kind of cool, but in this one, it just looked too messy in the test renders I did, so I just left it out. And then I just modeled some little like pylon things, not pylons. I don't know what you can call that stuff, just those metal posts for like parking or whatever. And then here I'm just dropping in some models from, this is the car add-on that Polygonic, I think that's who it is. The same people who made Botanic, the tree add-on, they have a car add-on, so I'm just dropping in cars from them. I might have to update it or something because I found it kind of glitchy, so I was just using it from the asset browser, but it worked here. It was fine, just for really simple cars like this with no lights. And then I'm dropping in wires here. I have a video on like making wires and railings and stuff that you can watch after this if you're interested in how to make that kind of stuff, but it's really useful to just have those in your asset browser, and then you can just bring them into scenes like this. If you look here, I'm dropping in that, or bringing in that same model from Kitbash earlier, just that railing, that simple railing thing. I'm making it metallic and shiny, and then I'm bringing it very, very close to the camera with depth of field enabled on the camera, which I'll show you in a second. So having it right up next to the camera just adds kind of this nice foreground element, which is blurred out because of the camera's focused further away. I like doing that. 'Cause it just feels much more like what a street photographer might do with just like out of focus elements in the foreground, and it just gives it a nice, like, cool kind of look sometimes. So I don't know, it's just kind of like a nice throwback for me from when I was doing street photography. Just it's just fun having like out of focus elements to add a little bit of hype, in the foreground. So I did take a mist pass, and then I'm just using that to add some smoky effects. This is all just my Photoshop post-processing. So just kind of like brushing in smoke around the outside edges, around the ground and stuff. I did a couple layers of that. And then I did, I think I just did a couple extra lens effects with some like lens dirt over top of that. I made this selection of this person here, just kind of darkened that so it wasn't so bloomy, because there was a glare note over the whole thing as well. And then I just ran all that through the camera raw filter. So that's just all the settings of like brightness, contrast, clarity, vignette, grain, a little bit of saturation, probably a bit of contrast, and that was pretty much it. So yeah, here's the final result. Hopefully this was interesting to watch, and it shows that you don't have to be doing anything too complicated for just a city shot like this, for a still render especially. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Again, there's a link below to this pack of buildings that I'm using to drive most of the stuff in this render. I can link that below. It's just a free pack I have. Other than that, thanks for watching, and see ya.